pit mines represent the leap forward in mining technology over the last 70 years. With the use of ammonium nitrate, huge excavators, and massive haul trucks, men can move entire mountains and treat millions of tons of low-grade ore that would otherwise have been left behind by miners 100 years ago. Vertically rising up through cut benches in this massive pit, one can clearly see the remains of what once was a large stope excavated by miners from 1880 to the early 1900s. Visible pockets of limonite, layers of galena, and hydrothermally altered andesite are all signs that this mountain contained large quantities of silver, with over 22 million ounces recovered. Today, on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, I take you deep inside the opposite side of the mountain, where older workings, unharmed by open pit operations, still exist. Together we will explore all the adits and drifts on the 100 level before taking you down a very dangerous decline to discover hidden, never-before-seen artifacts in the Candelaria mine. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of mines in this area. So my goal today is to try to find older workings that were in this area long before modern mining companies came out here and put in these giant open pit mines. Because at one time, there was a whole bunch of shafts that used to go down into the area where the open pit now exists. So my goal today is to search the perimeter of them open pit mines to see if we can't find some access into those older workings. Right behind me here is just that, and that's the one we're going to get started on today. All right, everybody, let's explore this old mine. So right here in the portal, you can see at one time there was a big iron door with a lock on it. But that's been taken off somehow. Looks like somebody, pried the door off. It's concrete all the way around the portal. Okay, let's head on inside. So right away, I've got a whole bunch of air just blowing in my face here, and that makes sense because you saw in the drone footage that there's a whole lot of stopes in this mine that went completely up to the surface and out of the hill. All right, we've got a drift going off to the left and something wooden here in front of us. I'm guessing that's going to be the powder magazine. Right here, you can see the strata of the hill that we're going into, and that's kind of the vein or the angle of the material that they're following. Now, let's take a look in behind this door here. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a, oh boy, what do we have here? Well, I didn't expect that. Look at this, you open the door and immediately there's a pit right there that you could fall right into. Now, what do we have? I'm going to work my way around the right-hand side of it here, trying not to fall into that thing. There we go. Oh, these are all ore samples.
That's what these are. Yep, bags and bags of ore samples. Looks like they were in here sampling in 2016 is written on that one. I could be wrong though, because see on this bag here you've got 22, 28. Yeah, so what that means, guys, is that's the distance into the mine from the portal in that they took the sample. That's what's going on there. There's just so much stuff to look at in here. We have a pressure vessel off to the right. And yep, that goes clear back up in there. Okay, but before we head off that direction, I'm just going to keep kind of panning this room here because there's so much cool stuff to look at. Yeah, right down there. Yep. They keep following that vein down into that area. All right. And then off to the left, I'm guessing this is probably going to have to, this is going to head back to the main haulage at it. Let's take a look. Yep, the rail goes up that direction. Turning to my left, this is going to lead right back to the portal. So, okay, well, what do you think, Randy? Should we just stay on the primary for right now?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's just stay on the primary, and we'll come back and revisit that area. Okay, let's see what we have up in here. Yeah, this is going to be a mine with a lot of stopes. Look at the area that they're working here.
Oh,
You got the stalls hanging between the hanging wall and the footwall.
Lots of big open crumbly areas.
So to all of my new subscribers that have jumped on board lately, this gives me an opportunity to talk about those stalls that you see. A lot of people think that they were primarily used for holding up the back of the mine or holding up the rock, kind of like what you see right here. See that? See how that stall is stretched between the footwall and the hanging wall? Well, in that situation, indeed, that's what it's being used for. But a lot of times, stalls were stretched between the hanging wall and the footwall so that you could lay planks between those stalls and then keep working the raises higher and higher up into the hill. Essentially, it gave the miners a platform to stand on while they're working the vein higher up into the mountain. Now remember, when you're a gold miner, gravity is your friend. It's actually your best friend and your worst enemy. But whenever you can use gravity to your advantage, that was always a good thing. Okay, what do we have here? Wow, Randy, this mine just keeps getting better and better. Okay, we've got a... Yeah, this is definitely a decline shaft. It goes all the way down in there. Very cool. Well, we may have to come back and take a closer look at that. All right, turning around. Oh, someone came in here and propped up a chair. Well, you know, you got to be comfortable. Hey, Randy.
Yeah, have a seat.
You know, I'm feeling a little tired on my feet. I think I'm going to sit back here and take a rest for a bit, huh?
Want me to fix you something to eat?
Oh, yeah. Would you please? A bologna sandwich with some cheese and mayo.
We can find us some beer around here somewhere.
All right, let's get back to work. Enough fooling around. What do we have up in here? Well, here's a barrel that was filled with, looks like axle grease.
The newspaper I passed back there was dated 1987.
Oh, you found a newspaper with a date of 1987. Okay.
Yeah, this one also 87.
All right. So we have a bunch of modern prospectors that were up in here working this claim. And let's just go back up in here real quick and see what we can see. Looks like it's going to come to an end. Yes, and indeed it does. We've got a little hole which acted as an ore pass that went up into the stope here. And Randy, when you get a moment, you need to really look up into this stope. That's
Here's another one here. One
that's pretty darn cool. Look up in there.
Small chute.
Yeah, see how they used all them tiny stalls? All right.
What's the point of that? It's that small.
Well, that was the point of that was that's the width of the vein as they worked it up the hill. Okay. Just a lot of modern trash laying around on the ground here. We got a false floor down on the ground. Hey Randy, I found your Daisy Dukes laying here on the ground. Yeah, right here. Do you always go abandoned mine exploring wearing your Daisy Dukes there, buddy? Right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are really cut off short.
That's right. It allows things to breathe. Okay, be careful on this false floor here.
Nice.
Oh, look, we've got there's a pressure vessel, otherwise known as an accumulator, hiding right down in there. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and definitely take a closer look at this area. All right. Let's keep moving on. I've got something else here off to the right. Let's take a quick look at that since we're right here. Yeah, here's an area that they're working. See how they're removing the ore. The ore through this area is probably about 2 feet thick, and they're removing it from the hanging wall. So these are the voids that are created when you're removing the ore from a mine. Now there, above my head, you can see, right, there's a pillar, and pillars are always great places to take samples or take specimens from because they leave those in place to hold up the hanging wall, but also they're leaving in place valuable ore. All right.
I wouldn't take a sample from that. I'd leave it right there.
You'd leave it right there, huh?
Leave it right.
Okay. Still, we have a whole bunch of wind just blasting us. I'm loving it because it's probably about 89, 88 degrees outside Fahrenheit. Great day to be in an old mine. Okay, we've got ourselves a big, almost a ballroom here. Quite a large area. They cleaned all that out, as well as a drift going off to the right. So we'll come back and revisit that. But for now, let's just stay on the primary here. Here's another nice look at the stratification of the rock right there. What do we have up in here? Yeah, that kind of looks like layers of andesite mixed in with, I can see rhyolite in there. There's definitely calcite running through it. Very cool. Okay. Wow. You know, I just wouldn't have imagined that this mine would be as large as it is by looking at the waste rock piles outside. And the reason that is sometimes is because much of it is ore that was taken off the mountain. So if there's a whole bunch of ore, you're not going to have big waste rock piles. All right. That keeps on going up that way with multiple ore chutes. We'll come back and revisit that. But for now, let's keep working our way down this direction. Bottles of antifreeze coolant, more oil. Not really seeing any older artifacts laying around here. This is all stuff from around the 80s. Going off of the date on that newspaper Randy found. Wow, look at all of the ore bins. I'm sorry, ore chutes. 2 of them here. Well, that just means that we're going to have lots of cool places to crawl up into. Let's look up in here real quick. There's a ladder. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to find what the miners were using as the primary method of getting into these stopes. Down here on the ground, there's what's left of a bag of ANFO. And somebody's dust mask hanging off that. Looks like we're coming up to the face here. With a ladder going up. Oh yeah. Oh wow, very nice. That's pretty darn cool. Okay, well, I just can't resist. I'm sorry, I gotta keep on going. That's pretty neat. So up the ladder we go. There we go. Come on up, Randy, the weather's fine. Let's take a look above our heads. Look at this giant area that they cleaned out here. Oh my goodness. So when we were flying the drone, Randy asked me, he goes, really, did they really go all the way up and out of the mountain to create those gashes or marks on top of the hill? I said, yep, all the way up and out. And that's kind of what you're seeing here. What else do we have? Wow. Okay. Oh, here's just a beautiful view. Of the vein that they cleaned out. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Ooh, cool. Okay, turning back around. Let's see what we have over here. Yeah, what do you think of that? Isn't that neat? So what they're doing here is most likely they're dropping all the ore down each one of these ore passes and working it down. And down there somewhere on the bottom is going to be another haulage at it leading back to that winze with the rail in it. But actually it's a decline shaft, and bringing it up to this haul level to take it out of the mine. Okay, well, I'm gonna scratch around here for a little bit and kind of come up with a strategy on the next direction that we should go in this mine. Okay guys, we've got there's a passage right over here that I want to get to, but I can't get to it until I come over here, and we're going to use this ladder to go that way. There we go. Now I'll just grab Mr. Camera here and show you guys what we have up in here. What do we have? Besides a lot of more modern trash, there's a muck sheet down on the ground here, and oh yeah, definitely we're getting above those ore chutes. I'm gonna go flip that ladder back around for Randy, and I'll be right back. Okay, I helped Mr. Randy there with the ladder. We got that thing flipped around. You can see here we're in a big stoped out area. So this is the area above the ore chutes along the primary haulage at it that we're in right now. Down here, there's what's left of a bucket of some kind. And it looks like they were using it as a slusher to bring material to dump it down the ore chutes here. Okay, I get my lights adjusted here. That's better. Now, let's get a closer look at what we have going on here. Yep, this is all funneling down into those chutes, and we've got another one over there. Okay, let's see, which direction can I explore safely? It looks like what I need to do is I'm gonna head up this way. There we go. Got another bag of handful right there. Wow, just a lot of very, very loose, dangerous rock here that's fallen off the back. Let's see how much further it goes. Way up in there. Okay, I'm gonna stay along this edge. There's less of a chance that one of these big rocks will fall on me. There we go. Yeah. Yep, so through this section, you can see that the ore body is about 3 to 4 feet thick. Now, let's look up in here real quick. That's as far as it's going to go, guys. Right there. All right, so I'm gonna continue my way back down to Randy, and I'll meet you guys back down there. Okay, guys, I've worked my way back down the ladders, and that's where we were a moment ago. We're standing on the primary haulage at it. This is another drift that we've yet to explore, so let's do this one next. Again, just like where we came from, ore chutes are in place to funnel the rock down so that they can drop it into the ore carts and take it on out of the mountain. There, we've got some graffiti. Stanford. Goal, I can't quite make that out. October 22nd of 1941.
Geologic survey, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Randy figured it out. Stanford Geologic Survey. 1941. Cool.
So they used a carbide lamp to write that.
Yeah, they didn't have all these fancy LEDs like we have these days. They would have loved to have owned our lighting technology. Wow, look at the vein running here, Randy. See? That stretch right through here and there. You can clearly, this is what they're taking out of the mountain. Look at that beautiful stuff right there. It almost, you can tell it has a lot of iron in it. It's probably just filled with hematite. That's why you're getting all the red, rusty looking stuff. Yeah. Nice.
Look right to your right there, you missed it.
What's that?
Oh no, that's just some stain.
Okay. All right. Okay, we have a crossroads here. It kept going off that way. Off to my left, they were starting a drift to go back to the primary and they quit. And off to my right, they went off that direction. Well, okay, before we go that way, let's just look right up in here. I think this just comes to a dead end. Yeah, indeed it does. Yep, and that's why there's this big pile of rock here. Rather than removing waste rock and taking it completely outside the mine, they just threw it up into that exploratory drift. Off here to my right, you can see in the vein somebody dug out a tiny little pocket and took a sample. And up here we have very nice, a whole bunch of gobbing. That's what this is called. To all my newer subscribers, when they stack the rocks up like this, they do so to throw waste rock in behind it, and it acts like a retaining wall. It's a lot easier to do that than to haul waste rock all the way out of the mine. If you're done with an area, you can backfill that area with worthless rock. Now here we have a nice view of the footwall and an ore pass going up. And down here, does it keep on going? It's stinky in here. Smells like blasting agent. Okay, let's look up in this hole. It's a tight little crawl. I'm gonna look anyways. Oh yeah, it keeps on going. Yep, definitely does, but in order to get in there, I've got to crawl on my hands and knees. Oh boy. Okay. There we go. There. Oh, much better. I can stand. Down here on the floor, what do we have here? Yeah, those are blasting cap tins right there. From the 30s and 40s. That's the size of the tins that they came in. Okay, what else do we have? We gotta go over another pile of rock that they threw into place. These are not collapses, guys. This is waste rock that they made a pile. And looks like we're coming to the end. Indeed. Okay, I'm gonna meet back with Randy, and we're gonna keep on exploring these drifts, working our way closer and closer back to the portal. Okay guys, like I said, I'm just slowly working our way back closer and closer to the portal and hitting each one of these drifts along the way. Randy and I were just right up there a moment ago, and now we've got to go down this next drift to see what we can see. I'm hoping I can find a really nice ore sample for you guys, but right now everything is just kind of this material is really hodgepodge. It's not defined like some of the other mines that I've been in, such as the ones where I found all of that galena and offered it to you guys in the past. This is pretty neat, these ore chutes right here. Is there anything in behind it or underneath? Well, let's look. We can squeeze under here. Let's look around here. No, nothing really hiding in here. But it kind of shows you how they built the ore chute from the backside. Yeah. Okay, so this drift really didn't go anywhere or do anything. Pretty uneventful. They were only using it as a way of passing ore from them stopes. So real quick, I'm gonna just take you with me. And we'll work our way back to the next interesting place, which I think is going to be that decline shaft. Okay, yep, we've already explored that off to the left. And indeed, we're back to that decline. Okay, before I head down there, I think what I want to do is work back to that large area closer to the portal, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, I'll see you over there. Okay, I'm back closer to the portal. You can see the sunlight coming through there. Yeah, that's Randy's backpack right there. Then back over here to the left, this is what I showed you when we first came into the mine. So we've got multiple choice. Let's go up here first. And you notice they have all this wood. See all this wood on the ground here? Okay. Well, they would lay that on the ground to stack either their bags of ANFO or cases of dynamite so that they wouldn't be resting directly on the floor, because you don't want that stuff wicking up moisture. Okay, we've yeah, it looks like an air door. It either was an air door, or this also could have been a dynamite magazine. Let's look down here on the ground. Yeah, you can see shards and remnants of old wooden dynamite boxes laying all over there. All right. What do we have hiding up in here? Well, we are closer to the portal. I suppose we should shine the light up there, see if we have any glowing eyes staring back at us. No. Okay, drift going off that way. We will come back and revisit that. See, I like to explore these mines this way because it not only gives me, but it gives you, the audience, what's called spatial orientation. I want you to kind of get the feeling of the layout of these locations, and that's why I always stay along the primaries first, and then I work all the secondary drifts back as I'm going back towards the portal. That's why I do that. And this one's going to come to an end. Okay, so I'm going to head back to that short little drift that we just walked past. Okay, a moment ago we were just right there. Now we're going to go see what's up in here. Lots of geologist spray paint marks on the walls. You smell that, Randy? What? You'll smell it when you get here. No, no, that's not a barking spider. That smell is residual. Oh, what would it be like? You know, like blasting agent. So if they're using ANFO, whatever ANFO doesn't burn or go up with the detonation, it creates some you know, residual material laying around, and that's what you're smelling.
What does it smell like to you?
It's like
ammonia?
No, it smells like nitrate fertilizer is what it smells like to me. It's kind of like
Nitrogen oxides.
Well, like see, there was some. This was a case of dynamite right here. You can tell. See down.
Oh, is that what that,
yeah,
sawdust?
and that sawdust that had all of the sticks packed in it. It reminds me of like when you smell a weed killer, like Roundup. Oh yeah, you can really smell it through this section. Oh, this is a nice looking vein. Let me back up. I walked right past it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Wonder why they didn't chase after it. Okay. And that's the end of this one. Okay, I'm going to work back to that big room with the wooden floor because we have that other drift to explore down that direction. I'll see you over there. Okay, I'm back to that big room. So a moment ago, we were just right over there. So all we have left to do to explore on this level is to head up this direction where Randy's standing past this pressure vessel. Let's see what we can find up in here. A Lots of ore chutes. And I think I might have found a way to get into the stopes that are above me right here. I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. Ooh boy, look at that. Look at that beam right there holding back all this material. Nice. Yeah, if something like that snaps, that wouldn't be good. Okay, let's get past that. What do we have up in here? So you can see how they were following the angle of the ore body going from lower right to upper left through this section. But it looks like we're going to come to an end right up here. Yep. And that's as far as it goes. Okay, so the next place to explore this mine is either go down that winze or try to go up again to get above all these ore chutes. So I'm going to scratch around and see what I can find. Okay, so I am working my way back closer to the portal and over to the winze. And I found these spray paint numbers along the way. And I wanted to point this out to you because a lot of you guys asked me, well, what are all the spray paint marks? What are all the hanging flags in those mines? Okay, for example, right here, now I'm standing on a whole bunch of loose waste rock or ore, and up there on that hanging wall is painted, looks like 1891 or 18, yeah, it looks like 1891. Then off to my right is another spray paint mark of 2002. And then up here, I'll bet there's even more. Is there any more up here, Randy? Yeah, see now there's, but see that one there you can barely make out. Looks like possibly 2003, and on and on and on it goes. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna work my way back to those bags and I'm gonna show you guys something. Okay, so I'm back here by those ore samples, and I gathered up 3 bags to show you what I'm talking about. For example, see, that one says 2425, and then that one there is 2228, and here's a 2281, and those correspond with all of the spray paint markings that either the previous mine owners or geologists painted on the walls.
Next week on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, episode 67.
I'm sorry, the decline just keeps going. So what would that have been used for? Talk about air quality immediately changing. It was like walking into a wall of sulfur. Boy, there's just so much cool stuff in here, guys. I'm almost a little bit overwhelmed.